Hey, welcome to Square Body Stuff. I'm Chad. We've got Squeaky in the shop, trying to get him ready for No Name Nationals. And before we get started, like always, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Ring that little bell so you get notifications. I've been trying to do some premieres here lately, and what a premiere is I can, whenever I post that video ahead of time, it will send alerts out to everybody that's on my notifications list to let them know that I've got a premiere video out. You can go ahead and comment on it or like it even before it's even out there. And as soon as it hits, let's say I put a video out at 6 o'clock in the evening. At 6 o'clock, the video kind of goes live. I won't be live on it. The video will just play from 6 o'clock for the duration of the video, and the chats will be live. So when I put a premiere out, I always make sure I'm there to do a live chat with you guys. So you can get on there, chat live with me while the video plays for its full duration. But during that time, you can't rewind or stop, or I guess you could stop it or pause it, but you can't rewind it or anything. So it's just going to play for the duration of the video. Say it's 10 minutes. It'll play for 10 minutes. And during that 10 minutes, the first play of it, I'll be live on the chats with you guys and chatting back and forth, so check that out. Not sure if this video is going to be a premiere. I'm not real sure. I've got a lot going on this week. Missed Motor Monday last night. I've got the video ready. I just got a lot going on. But today I had a few hours to piddle around in the shop, try to get Squeaky ready for No Name Nationals. I'm going to be setting him up for another rear end. We'll get into what that is here in a little bit. Also, go check my Teespring store out. Go check out my merchandise. That link is in the description box below. Go check those out. I got some pretty cool designs. I've got another announcement this Thursday at 7 o'clock. It'll be February 10th at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. I will be going live with John Wilburn. He is one of the guys that's putting on the No Name Nationals event. He contacted me, wanted to know if I wanted to do a live interview with him, so I agreed. It ought to be interesting because, yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to do on a live deal. I've got my little live thing set up. Well, I've got some headers on the table. I was just moving stuff out of the way. They was piled up on top of this rear end, but I've got a little live thing set up, so it ought to be interesting. Go check that out. Again, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. February 10th, it'll be this Thursday. Go check it out. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below, so you can go ahead and right now go to that link, set you a reminder, tie a string around your finger, set an alarm on your phone, whatever you need to do. Go check that out. We'll be actually live. I'll be just talking to you guys for however long it takes. It's usually about an hour, but it could go longer if there's a lot of stuff going on in the chats and the live feed. So, it's going to be pretty interesting. So, go check that out. I think that's all the real announcements we got. No Name Nationals. Subscribe. Live video. Premieres. You got it. Let's get some work done on Squeaky. I'm not going to get a whole lot done today in this video, but we're going to try to get the old rear end out. So, what we've got here is a rear end that I rebuilt probably about 2 years ago. It is a corporate 14 bolt, and no, it's not really a typical rear end that someone's going to put in something used for drag racing, but it's what I have. I originally got this rear end. I was told it was a dually rear end, didn't even check the measurements, didn't really worry about it because I was going to put it in Buddy, my crew cab 1 ton. So I rebuilt it, re-geared it for, at the time I had 37s on, so it's got 488 gears in it. New rotors, calipers. I even got new brake shoes inside for the emergency brake, which I'm not going to use those. So I put a lot of money in this rear end, and it's just been sitting over there on the side of the shop for the last couple years. I actually had no use for it after I found out that the hubs were too narrow. I was going to have to run like 4.5-inch spacers to run dually wheels on it. To the best of my knowledge, it is an early 2000s, at least that's the year model I ordered parts for, an early 2000s, 3/4 ton, 14 bolt with disc brakes. So, as you can tell, it is going to be considerably wider, because these are 15-inch wheels that I acquired. They've been recentered. I'm not sure how true they run. They just barely fit on there. Sorry about my finger there, but I'll have to either do some clearancing on the calipers, or I do have some shims that I can maybe shim it out. But as you can tell, the track width is going to be quite a bit wider. But these are 15s that I'll run my slicks on. Probably for normal everyday driving, if I do decide to kind of keep him street legal, I have a set of 16.5 wheels with they're Hurricanes with 33 1250s mounted on them right now. I also have a set of Hurricanes with a set of 37s on there mounted up that I can run on the back. Not sure how that's going to clear the fenders and everything once I get it all put together, but that's what I'm going to try to set underneath the back end of Squeaky here. I've shaved all of the spring perches, shock mounts, everything off of it. So they've got some naked tubes that I can mount it however I want to. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good project here. Here's the brand new U-bolts and spring plates I ordered for it. I had them sitting there for a long time. I got 2 different sets of spring perches. These are taller ones that actually are the ones I cut off of the axle. These are some shorter ones, which I'll probably use these. I have to kind of clearance the hole out because they're a little bit small for the diameter of the tube. I think I'll go with those. That way keep my ride height a little bit lower. And speaking of ride height, I initially thought about doing an axle over spring and mount the axle on top of the spring, but that would mean I need to C-notch it and do a bunch of other work that I'm not really wanting to do right now to this truck. I think the kind of jacked up look is what I'm going to go for with this instead of the lowered look. And actually, a spring over conversion would be a better suspension geometry for drag racing. But like I said, I'm not wanting to do all that work right now. Maybe on down the road we'll do an axle flip and C-notch this frame, get him setting a little bit lower. But I want to have options to be able to run the bigger tires inside the fenders or whatever, just to give them a goofy look. Maybe take them to some sand drags or dirt drags or something like that. I think there's an area close by that we could do that. So I want to leave my options open, leave the rear end up, maybe kind of give them the old school gasser look. Who knows, we may straight axle the front end or something like that on down the road and really give them that gasser look. But for right now, I'm just going to mount the axle underneath the springs the way they're supposed to be. I'm going to leave the spring packs alone. These are the heavy half or big 10 F44 option springs. There's 7 leaves plus the big main leaf. So it's got an 8 spring packs or 8 leaf spring pack. So they're pretty stiff. They don't wrap a whole lot anymore. As I added this little spacer here, just a piece of square tubing I cut down. So these main leaves, or the bottom leaf, is kind of acting as a makeshift slapper bar. I also added these on the back. It didn't have them for some reason. They just kind of keep the springs located. But the problem I was having, you can't see it now because it's kind of rusty. But these marks right here are from these springs. Whenever I would launch, the axle would wrap and these springs would come way down here and hit the spring hanger. So these modifications I done, they're kind of hillbilly backwoods stuff, but that's how I roll, and they actually really helped. After I put those on it, it didn't wrap the springs up quite as bad and had a lot smoother launch. Now, one more thing I want to add before we get started on this is, as you can notice, he's got a 2-piece drive shaft mounted to the sm465 4-speed. So the 4-speed doesn't have a slip yoke at the back of it. The slip yoke is right there. So I'm going to get rid of the carrier bearing and have a 1-piece drive shaft made. That's kind of the reason why I decided to go ahead and do the axle first. I can get this axle underneath there, kind of get it set to where I want it, and depending on ride height, I may do some lowering shackles or something like that. So I may not weld the spring purchase solid. So if I do do that, I can set my pinion angle, but I can at least get a measurement for my drive shaft before I pull the motor and transmission out. And so that way, if it takes a little while to get the drive shaft in, I'm not just sitting there waiting on it. I could be doing some other stuff while I'm waiting on the drive shaft to come in. So that's the plans on the drive shaft. I think I might have some yokes and stuff to make that all happen. I'll just have to see what I got. Alright, I've got the 14 bolt, got some roller tires stuck on there for now. Getting it ready to put underneath there. It all come apart pretty easy. And I've got a special guest, my oldest son, Clayton. Say hi, Clayton.
Hi, Clayton.
Yeah, he finally got it right.
Call me special.
So he's gonna help me get this stuck underneath there. I think we're just gonna get it stuck underneath there, set the purchase, get it down on its weight, kind of halfway get the pinion angle set somewhat close, clamp it down with the bolts just enough to where we can kind of roll it around and get it centered and all that stuff, and we'll probably call it quits on this video with that. So So my U-bolts I ordered were quite a bit longer than what they need to be, which is fine. I'd rather them be longer than shorter because I don't have a U-bolt stretcher anymore. So, but I got plenty of threads underneath here. I'll go ahead and I run them down as far as my impact or my socket will reach. So I'll cut these off with the death wheel and then go ahead and suck them down. Right now, of course, my pinion angle is a little bit off, but we'll get that all corrected. Right now we're just kind of trying to get it underneath there, and then we'll center it up. We'll have to measure from side to side. We're quite a bit off to the passenger side right now, but we'll get it mocked up and get it all figured out. But it's gonna be pretty cool having a 14 bolt in my 305 465 transmission drag truck. Yeah, we got some measuring done. It's fairly close side to side. So it's sitting on its own weight right now. We got no weight on it. Pinion angle's not set, but it's way better than it was. At least it's not pointing to the back of the truck. We'll mess around, get it angled a little bit better, figure out what I got to do for a brake line, and maybe a different yoke, because this has got the really huge yoke on the differential. I may have a smaller one for 14 bolt. I just have to kind of scrounge around, see what I got, see what I'm going to come up with for a drive shaft. But I think I'm going to end it off there. Alright, so we're going to end it off. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep your square bodies rolling. Till next time, we'll catch you later.